I am so ready for summer to be over. Am I the only one? Maybe. Hold on. The joys of filming on your phone. Okay, welcome. I am getting a little bored with my TBR so far. We're only like 11 days into the month and I have completed about half of my TBR. But with that being said, I'm getting a little bored. So I wanted to shake things up, and one of the ways to do that is to accomplish some of my other goals, which is continuing/completing series that I've started. So in order to do that, we are going to take this nifty little fedora that my husband owns, and I have just put little folded pieces of paper in here. Again, I film on my phone, and my kids are currently using all of my other electronics to keep them entertained. So spinner reels, random things, they're out, but we do have trusty pen and paper. In here is all of the series that I have started and have access to, have easy access to. Anyway, we are going to pick a book and we are gonna vlog our experience reading it. And maybe if we are feeling super successful, we'll do like 2 books in this. Who knows? We'll just kind of see where this takes us. But for now, let's pick our first book. Gonna be really honest, a little nervous about this because some of these series I haven't continued because I have very low motivation to continue it. But I need to do it. I need to do it. So we are going to pull a book. This one. Okay, Once Upon a Broken Heart. Do you like my handwriting? Once Upon a Broken Heart. All right, here we go. The Ballad of Never After. I liked Once Upon a Broken Heart. I didn't love it, but I didn't like hate it. I didn't feel like I wanted to just hop directly into the second book. So this is a good like jump into finishing this series. So, here we go. The Ballad of Never After. The Ballad of Never After, right? Yeah. Okay, I have made some progress in this book. Mistake not jumping right into this one after Once Upon a Broken Heart. It pretty much just picks up exactly where Once Upon a Broken Heart left off. And so if there's too much of a time lapse between finishing the first book and jumping into the second book, you kind of feel a little lost because there's like no pickup. There's no recap. There's no nothing. You literally, this could have been just 2 books smushed together. That's how seamlessly we end up in the second book. Jax. Do I like him? I was on the fence about it in the first book too. I don't know. I don't know if I like him as a character. Don't give me any spoilers, but I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to keep trucking away, keep plunking away at this book. Yeah, we'll see if I am wowed by the end of it. We'll see. Okay, well, I just finished The Ballad of Never After. And, wow. I was wowed at the end. I gotta sit with this one for a minute. I'm gonna settle on 4 stars for The Ballad of Never After. In true Once Upon a Broken Heart nature, we are left confused and wondering at the end of this book and where it's all gonna go. And I was surprisingly upset at the end of that book. So I do definitely want to jump into the third book very soon. It'll probably end up going on my fall TBR. I have decided I need to go with the book. This could come back to totally bite me in the behindy, but I have decided that instead of picking a new book to read, like continue on in a new series, that I'm going to go ahead and when I pick a series out of the Fedora hat, I am going to commit to filming the completion of that series or becoming current in the series, which means that next for us is A Curse for True Love. I am excited to finish this. I really am. I have heard or seen that the completion of this trilogy may not be what everybody expected or wanted. So I'm going to judge it for myself. I'm going to jump in with both feet and we're going to see where this takes us. I'm about 116-ish pages into A Curse for True Love. And here are my initial thoughts. I hate Apollo. Just everything about him. I hate him, which is interesting to say because by the time, I don't know if you remember a little earlier in this video, I was not 100% sold on Jax. I was like, I don't know about Jax. I don't know about Jax. And there's a piece of me that still doesn't know about Jax, and there's a piece of me that still is like incredibly frustrated with Jax as a character. But I can tell you what, I like Jax more than I like Apollo. I can't stand Apollo, and the very fact that so much of this book is written in his point of view, it's frustrating. So, spoilers. If you've not read this book, skip ahead to a different clip where I look different. Because we just got to the part where Jax saves Evangeline from the well. And you find out that Apollo is the one that pushed her into the well. And I just am so much wishing we could go back to the middle of book 2, the middle of A Ballad for Never After, because I just love Jax and Evangeline together as a little duo. She makes him better, even though he still is a terrible, terrible person. But she does make it better. Anyhow, yeah, I am frustrated in probably a good way. It's probably a good frustration, but I am frustrated with this book. I'm frustrated with where it's taking me, and at 30% of the way through the book, let's just say I can't wait for something else to happen. I can't wait. Did it. I finished A Curse for True Love, and that concludes the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. Okay, I finished it a little earlier today, and I've had some time to sit on my thoughts. I rated this particular book high 3 stars, but I don't do like half stars or anything, so it is just gonna end up being a 3-star read for me. But overall, the series, I am rating 4 stars for the series. Stephanie Garber wrote a super unique magic system. The world, the setting, the plot, it's all very unique, and those are all positives in the in the plus or minus category. Those are all pluses. The characters, I thought I liked Evangeline as a character. I thought that she had a good arc, and she wasn't the same as she was when the story began. In book 1, she's different in book 3 than in book 1, and Jax is as well. And so that's what we hope is right. Characters are not staying the same throughout a series, but that there's some growth and development and some things happening. So those all happened in this series, and that is all pluses in favor of the book. Some minuses. I felt like while I enjoyed the setting and I enjoyed the magic system and I enjoyed the uniqueness of all of that, I felt like we threw everything but the kitchen sink at these books when it came to like magical creatures and things like that. So we had fates, and we had vampires, and we had dragons, and we had just all of these time bending things in one book that it worked for the most part, but it was so hard to keep track of what what creatures. There's just so many to keep track of. So that was kind of a minus for me. The other thing is, it is literally one thing after another through this entire series. Book 1 is probably the slowest moving book, And I think I probably enjoyed that pace better. But book 2 and book 3, it is literally, we're putting out fires every 30 seconds. It's like, we've walked through this situation. Now we've just walked directly into another situation, and directly into another situation, and directly into another situation. And that was a minus for me in this series, mainly because I felt like I could never fully process what was happening in one scenario. We would get through an attempt on Evangeline's life over here just to immediately walk into another attempt on Evangeline's life. And it felt really disconnected. All of these things, it didn't feel like there was a common thread between each of these events. I couldn't figure it out. So that was also a minus for me, and why this particular book was sitting at a 3-star rating for me. Great book, still really good time. Phenomenal wrap up to the series. Like I said, I thought the ending fit the overarching theme of the book very well, but just, it felt a little too chaotic. And then in that chaos, we just slammed into the end of the book. So good, but not like great for me. So that's kind of where I'm landing. I believe Once Upon a Broken Heart, I gave 4 stars. The Ballad for Never After, I'm pretty sure was 4 stars. And then A Curse for True Love, I gave 3 stars. But I'm saying overall, the series is a 4-star series for me. Very good, fun books, super simple to read, very fast paced, and just a good time all around. So I would 100% recommend these books to anyone. They're clean fantasies. There's no spice in these at all, which I actually really like for this series. It seemed to fit. There was a lot of tension, but not a lot of spice. So yeah, that is my wrap up for the Once Upon a Broken Heart series and kind of my thoughts on it. And I feel really good about it. I feel good. Sometimes I rate books after I read them and I'm like, that might have been a little impulsive. You know, I'm coming off the high of the book and the good feelings. But this feels like a genuinely good, solid rating for me. And yeah, if you agree or disagree, hit the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this series. And if you have any recommendations based on this series that I could go into next, or really anything, just let me know. That is it for this video, you guys. I hope you have the best time with whatever it is you're doing. And always have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one.